Hello there guys, Feng here, and welcome to Evopollution. Okay, so Evopollution is a business strategy game that is focused around the environment. So you basically have to make as much money as you can, $1 million to be exact, to effectively win the game. But you have to be careful about the environment. If the environment is too badly damaged, then the weird shit starts to happen. Okay, so let's actually just go through some of the things that I'll normally go through. So the options menu, yeah, there's not really much of an options menu now. You know, it doesn't usually bother me these types of games. How big the options menu is, to be quite honest. I mean, for example, 1849. You know, that hasn't really got that much of an options. In fact, it's got exactly the same, more or less. So that's not really a big deal. Except this one actually has sliders. Woohoo! Which are actually pointless because as soon as you exit the game and re-enter the game, they reset back to full. So that's great. Oh yeah, you want to thank me for putting the music down to 0. Trust me. Sounds also down because it's annoyingly loud. Now, what I can say though is that there's one crucial thing that's actually missing from this options menu, which I'll discuss a bit later. Okay, so let's crack on, shall we? So let's go to level select. Okay, so we have easy, medium, medium, hard, and very hard. So yeah, as you can see, there's 5 maps. Now the great thing about this is that each map is randomly generated, which is kind of means you have got like infinite playability because it randomly generates the map. That was kind of not quite true, and you'll soon see why. So I suppose for the first one we'll go on easy, right? Now, the first thing I noticed was, well, where's the tutorial? Maybe, we can choose money, so let's choose the highest one there. And we can have beginner or normal. Maybe beginner will tell us, no, beginner will not tell us what to do. Oh dear, okay. Right, let's go back. Okay, so, yeah, the game actually does not have any tutorial, it doesn't have any campaign, which I feel is a missed opportunity here. A campaign based around making a business whilst trying to look after the environment would be absolutely massive here. And not only that, it would actually help with newer players that want to know what the buildings actually do and what's the best way to go about stuff. The game doesn't tell you. The game does not tell you at all. So let's just go with normal, right? Okay, so here we are. Okay, this is the land. Now, I'm going to point out something at the moment, right? I can't zoom in or out. That's annoying because the map it's not big, as you can see, right? But I would have thought I'd be able to zoom out a little bit and try and get all the map on the screen. Now, the second thing to note is that the buttons don't work. There's no buttons. The keyboard is basically absolutely fucked at this point. You can't move the map with your keyboard, which means the only way to move the map is by side scrolling. And as you can probably tell, the scrolling speed is stupidly slow. That is probably the main option that we really could have done with. Or maybe even just a keybind so we can look left and right and bloody up and down with WSD, or even with the up, down, left, right arrow keys. That would have been really cool. It's little things, but we'll get to the best bit in a bit. Okay, so this is randomly generated. Now, can I just point out something at this point, right? It doesn't seem to matter too much. Now, normally, this is actually a really bad map because I can't showcase this, but normally you are randomly generated with at least one oil spurt. That is extremely weird that we haven't actually got one this time round. Wow. Okay. So, but what I've seen so far with the differentiation of maps is you either spawn with 1 or 2 oil things, and as you can see, there is a day and night cycle, which is kind of cool. And there's also a wind cycle as well. You can actually generate power with wind and stuff like that. I suppose we'll get to that now. So, we start off with 25,000. And now we need to try and make some money. That's obviously the big thing about here. So, here's your buildings, right? We can make an oil drill. It costs 400, cheap. It makes weekly profit of 5, and the pollution level that it does is low. It produces oil. If the pollution gets too high, the oil will begin to spread. So yeah, you need to bear that in mind. Okay, oil refinery, which one would assume would refine the oil, it doesn't kind of tell you, but I'll assume it refines the oil. As you can see, there's a weekly profit of 20, and the pollution is medium, so a bit more than the drill. And then you've got oil tank, which costs cheaper than the oil refinery. It's got a weekly profit of 3, and the pollution is low. Earns a profit for every oil drill and oil refinery. So it's basically a multiplier kind of building for every one of these that you have. That's actually kind of cool. But here's the thing, right? The game is kind of balanced around trying to keep eco-friendly and whatnot. So there's only really 2 ways you can go about it. You can either go the pollution route or the non-pollution route. Now, I'm going to be quite honest at this point. The gameplay of this seems very lackluster. So let me show you what I mean. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go the clean route. Okay. So we're going to go around making solar panels and wind turbines and power storages, because these cause no pollution, but yet they still give us a weekly profit. So I'm going to make some solar panels. Sorry for the annoying sound, because it is annoying, and in fact I think I'm just going to turn it completely off, because the sound is damn annoying, and for some reason the music's still there. It's not normal. Okay, so we made a solar panel. Yay! So now we'll make money when the sun is out. Okie dokie. Wind turbine. Yay, now we'll make money when it's windy, and it looks like it's windy, so that's great. And now we'll make a power storage, which will generate money depending on how many solar panels and wind turbines we have. So at this point, you're probably thinking, okay then, so let's just spam some of these, and that's kind of what we're going to do. We're just going to spam these. So there we go. Spam, spam, spam. And power storage. Now, if we were using oil drills or anything that would pollute the actual land, then we'd have to really consider about planting some trees. Now, trees are a bit weird. They actually have a weekly cost to them, which makes no fucking sense at all why that would be the case. Maybe it's the cost for someone to go and water them. It makes no sense, but yeah, and they actually cost a fair bit per square, which, you know, is fine, but they do purify the land, which again kind of makes zero to no sense, but it's there. So yeah, but we don't need to do that, because we're not using anything that's polluting the world, polluting the land, and you can probably see where I'm going to go with this. So the goal here is to make $1 million. So we're going to make a load of power solar panels, a load of wind turbines, and a load of power storage units. And wait a second, is that all we can do? Oh wow, that is all we kind of have to do. Yeah, and you can probably see where this is starting to flaw a bit. Yeah. So what I'm going to be doing for now, while my money ramps up, which it will, as you can see, I'm earning $78 per hour. Each tick is an hour, supposedly. Is make solar panels and these and that, and this is the clean way to do it, and it's probably the most efficient way to do it too. You're not going to get it quickly, you're not going to get the money quickly, but you can basically go AFK, make yourself a coffee while it builds up, and there's nothing going to go wrong, absolutely nothing. That's kind of hilarious in and itself. Oh, and yeah, can I actually mention something else? Why can't I upgrade these buildings? Why can't I even select the buildings? Surely I can see how much I'm producing properly. You know, you're not always going to be producing, of course. You're only going to make profits while there's wind. So why can't I select them and see if it's producing? You know, okay, I can see obviously the windmill's going round, but you know, the wind's not always going to be the same level, is it? So the wind's not always going to always generate me $3 per hour. If there's less wind, then it's going to produce less, and if there's even more wind, it's going to produce even more. And this is where it falls down. It's just too simple. It's way too simple. I mean, you just put it down and you only get a set amount per hour, depending if it's windy or not. And you know, it's actually kind of a kick in the teeth. Same with it. I mean, it's kind of the same with the oil drills. I mean, you can put oil drills anywhere you want, but obviously over a spot, over a spill, it's usually a lot better. You know, you get more money, but you have to balance it with trying to make trees. So you know, there's a bit more gameplay involved in that because you need to try and balance it out. But even so, you're going to get to a point where you've filled up all the land and you're just waiting for the money to pair up, and there's nothing to do while you're waiting for that. So, you know what I'm going to do now? You know what I'm actually going to do, just to prove a point? I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to time it and see how long it takes to build all this up, and then wait to see how long my money fills up. Okay? So, just bear with me. Okay, so as you can see, I haven't progressed very far at all. Do you know why? Because I kind of got bored. I really did. So all I've done is added an extra 2 plots, and as you can see, we're actually making not a great amount of money, but once it gets sunny, we'll be making a ton loads. And it's clear to the problem at this point. There's nothing to do while you're waiting for this to go about, especially if you've been playing it like I'm playing it. If you're playing it to actually just using clean buildings, which is kind of what the game wants to encourage you to do, then yeah, you're going to be in for a very fulfilling experience. Absolutely superb. There's just nothing to do. I can't even. It's just too simplistic. I mean, what about if I could assign workers to go work in the power plant so that it produces more electricity or whatnot, or maybe, you know, having some certain amount of workers to, you know, try and get more efficiency out of the stuff. There's nothing like that in the game. There's absolutely nothing like that in the game. And, you know, it just doesn't tell you that at all in the game either. It's, I don't know, it's really weird. I tried to find a wiki for this game last night, because I wasn't sure why I was losing. Because what I actually did the first time when I played this is I put down a shitload of oil rigs, oil drills, and oil tanks, and then I put a shitload down of trees to compensate for that, and I was going bankrupt. Well, I'm thinking, well, how the hell am I going bankrupt? Because these are supposed to be producing profit. I didn't realise, but these have actually got weekly costs at the time. But even so, the game doesn't display it very well. I mean, you've got no graphs to see what your expenditure is and which profit you're actually making. There's nothing like that, nothing at all. And you know, in fact, every single business majoring game that I've probably played has got some form of graph, even if it's basic. Even 1849 has graphs that shows you how much money you're making and how much money you're losing. This has none of that, so it's very difficult for me to say, is this actually going to be worth it in the end? Because there's nothing. I don't even know what half of these custom ones are. I mean, okay, they can make me a bit of profit, but what's the point in them? Why would I want to make a tank brown for? You know, what's all this? What is it? It doesn't explain. The game doesn't bother to explain it. Does not bother. And there's no wiki. I can't find a bloody wiki for this game anywhere. You know, it's weird. It's really weird. Really is. And as you can see, you know, we'll probably make it. Oh, now we're making even more money now. But this is just going to be it. I'm just going to be making all these, and yeah, I'm going to win. The end game is kind of weird because there isn't none. You know, you're just accumulating. You know, it's really weird. Oh, okay, I can't plan there. Now here's another thing, right? Here's another thing I noticed. You've got a bulldoze tool, right? You can left click on a building to destroy it, right? Okay. Now, notice you can't actually bulldoze these trees. Now that kind of makes sense, since you know you probably wouldn't want to bulldoze them right to keep the environment healthy. But here's the kick in the teeth, right? You can plant your own big trees, yeah. And in fact, they're a different colour. Right. Do you know what I did actually forget to mention? I love the graphic style of this. You know, it does remind me of the old retro graphic style, and that's kind of what actually got me pulled into the game, and the fact it was, you know, the business management kind of thing. But bloody hell, you know, I can bulldoze it. Look, I can bulldoze my own goddamn tree. So why can't I bulldoze these that are smaller? I can't even bulldoze the sodding grass. You know, it's weird. It's so weird. You can only bulldoze your own buildings. This is the thing as well. Some of these oil drills and stuff require you to have optimal space. You can't use that if the trees are randomly generated somewhere stupid. And it's annoying. It's annoying because you can't get rid of them. The only way you can get rid of them is to make the land so crap that the trees die out or the disasters happen. And wow, look, do you know what? I'm actually just going to end this one for the time being. We're going to go to the Meg and I'm going to show you what happens when shit hits the fan, okay? We're going to go to the very hard, okay? Now, this is fairly hard, but it's still pretty basic, okay? So let's just start off with the usual. Okay, welcome to Mars. This is what happens when you have a really shitty environment. Oh, I'm trying to press the buttons, but they don't work, do they? Okay, so as you can see, meteorites are coming down. Electricity is striking everywhere, and there's a big fuck-off worm trying to eat everything. Yes, that's what happens when the environment goes to fuck. Okay, so how do you go about doing this? Well, I can tell you one thing. If you try to get the oil refinery route and everything like that, you probably won't even bother doing it. And this is what I mean by, you know, it really encouraging clean power. So we're going to plant a big tree. Now, I can't be exactly sure what the radius of this is, but we're going to plant it, right? Okay. Now, this one tree, okay, that has no leaves on it at all, right, is going to make this bit of land here. You can actually see that the land does kind of change colour, so you can kind of guess how good the environment is. It still doesn't help the fact that we can't tell how, you know, how much it affects the environment. Again, graphs could help with that, or even just a little map, a little mini map that shows you how bad stuff is, or how good the environment is. And here we go. So the tree's starting to grow. Yay! We're starting to get a growing tree. Now we probably want to think about starting to build something that's actually going to generate money, since obviously building trees does not give you money. In fact, it takes it away. So let's start off with wind turbines. Yeah, let's start off with wind turbines. So we'll have a wind turbine there. We'll have a wind turbine there. And because of the way the stupid thing's set out, we're going to have a power storage. There we go. There's one thing you're going to notice straight away. All these disasters are not affecting this land, because it's good land. Yeah? So this is still really too simplistic, because now all I need to do is plant one tree here. The land's going to get really good. Then all I need to do is build a shitload of wind turbines and solar panels. Which again, solar panels on Mars is a bit weird, but you know, it's original. So yeah, and I can just build these, and I can still generate money from it. Okay, I'm only generating $3 because of the tree there, but there we go. Now the tree's fully grown, and this is completely fine. Now the natural disasters, the worm and the meteorites and the electric won't go near this land, and that is absolutely fucking hilarious, because now all I need to do is expand all this, and once I've run out of room, all I've got to do then is plant another big tree. But again, it's still the boring thing of waiting. This is another thing as well. Why isn't there a time scaler? What I mean by that is, why can't you speed up time or slow it down? I mean, you don't want to slow it down because it's already fucking slow as it is. But why can't you speed up time? It's weird. It's as if it was purposely not put in to make the game last longer. Look. You know, what else can I say? It's... Words can't describe it. Words really can't describe it. I'm having a tough time describing it. It's pathetic. It really is. I mean, you need to involve us doing something else other than this. You know, you really do. In other games like Tropico, and I'm even gonna use 1849 as an example here. You're still doing something constantly. For example, in 1949, you're still trading. You're still that's still an active kind of thing. Maybe you should be able to do that here. You know, why can't we pick certain areas where we can trade to or anything like that. There's no trade system in the game at all. It's bare basics. It's really bad bare basics, and I don't know. I really don't know. I'm completely lost for words at this point. Oh, the meteorite did it. That space there. Oh, gotta be careful now. Gotta build another big tree. You know what? I think I'm done with this. And you know the funny thing is, you know, at the end of it, there's like a ranking system. I always get rank D because I go the green route, and because you know I go the green route, and I get a rank D. Really weird. Really weird. I have no idea how the ranking system works, and at this point, I really don't care. The gameplay is lackluster at best, and you know what? I think I've had enough. Okay then, guys. So, unless they can actually patch this to, you know, make the interface better. I mean, this is annoying as it is. Trying to bloody drag the mouse everywhere. Some people are used to it. That's fine. But give the option to other people that are so used to using WSD to move around all the arrow keys, you know. Give us graphs to see how much we're actually making on some of these buildings. Anything like that would be so nice and so appreciated. There's a lot of great potential here, but it's just sleeping. It really is. It's just sleeping, and it looks like it's not going to be bothered with. So it's just disappointing, and that's it, guys. I've had enough. I'll see you later.